1939, the start of the Second World War. A war that lasted 6 long years, 6 years of strategies, of conflicts and fear, while soldiers from various countries of the world gave their lives for their ideals and their homelands, and their families hoping for the end of the war to find their loved ones. Children and adults had to show courage and patience while waiting for the end of this historically cruel time. And it was during this period that the comic book phenomenon took full advantage. Through this period, the comics have been a symbol of heroism and hope to readers. It was easier for people to identify with the protagonists who represented strength and justice in the global crisis. We noticed, for example, that Superman, who appeared for the first time in #1 of Action Comics and became the symbol of the modern superhero from the DC publishing house, or the well-known Captain America, who was created in 1940 in the comic Captain America Comics by the Marvel publishing house. Over time, these two fictional characters have become icons of pop culture, and we continue even today, over 80 years later, to learn and read about them. During the 40s, the fashion was in the comic books. It did not stop there. Indeed, if the superheroes were not in the first place of sell, other kind of comics made their appearances, like the detective comics, in particular the very famous Crime Does Not Pay, the love comics like Young Romance, and especially the horror comics, which had a wild success, but were quickly banned to protect the sensibilities of the young readers. It was the return to fashion of superheroes, but from the start, two rival publishing houses have taken center stage, Marvel and DC Comics, to the point where they were called the Big Two. And this is our topic of the day. Why would you read comics now? And where to start? What to choose? Hope this video answers all your questions. There are in all more than 128 comic book publishing houses recognized in the world, so of course we cannot go them all, but we will talk about the most interesting and the one that could make you love reading comics. I'm going to tell you about the most famous publishing houses, the history of their creations, their different characters and theme, and what I think is one of their must-see comics. DC Comics. Created in 1934 under the name of Fun Comics, then renamed Detective Comics in 1938, this year we'll also see the first appearance of the comic Detective Comics, which chronicles the adventures of the masked Dark Knight, Batman. We will also see the first publication of Action Comics, this one dedicated to Superman in the same year. DC Comics is known for its vast and varied universe, but also for its iconic characters such as Flash, Batman or Superman, and its many teams and their epic stories. Over time, we will see the birth of the GLA, Justice League of America, composed of Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Many members will join the team after, like Cyborg, Martian Manhunter or Shazam. We will also see other teams being formed, such as the Teen Titans, led by Robin, the former sidekick of Batman, the Outlaws with Red Hood, Justice Society, a team created during the Golden Age but forgotten over time, and recently reintroduced with the new Golden Age series. The Legion of Superheroes from the 13th century, the Birds of Prey, the Suicide Squad, criminals forced to work for the government, and the new GLA, which highlights Stargirl and the Martian in 2012, and many others. The heroes are not the only ones to form teams. The villains are also ready to ally themselves, so we will see the Legion of Doom, the Rocks, who are generally confronted with the Flash, the Secret Society, the Sinestro Corps, which are the opposite of the Green Lanterns, the Crime Syndicate, a Justice League of an opposite parallel world, and the recent Dark Knights from the Dark Multiverse, and a lot of others. With this array of characters, there are countless DC comics, whether dark, colorful, tragic, or even just narrative for iconic characters. You are not going to be disappointed. Marvel. Unlike its lifelong rival, Marvel is known for its colorful universe. Created in 1938 by Martin Goodman, starring Marvel Comics, which was a success, Then from 1950, the publishing house knows hard year. In 1961, seeing the success of the GLA from DC, Mr. Martin Goodman asked Stan Lee to create the first team of pure Marvel superheroes, and it was the birth of the Fantastic Four. Over the years, Marvel experienced a large development of characters and their respective teams. We have the Avengers featuring Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Then over time, this team grows and we will see new members such as Captain America or Wanda and Quicksilver. Other Marvel teams have notably emerged. The new Avengers taking the same basis as the old team but with new members like Spider-Man and Wolverine. The X-Men composed of several members like Beast, Cyclops or Storm. The Guardian of the Galaxy, the Illuminati with Doctor Strange, Iron Man and Reed Richards, Marvel Knights and New Warriors. And when it comes to violent teams, we have Masters of Evil, Dark Avengers, Lethal Legion, Sinister Six, Hydra, the Hellfire Club, Squadron Sinister, the Black Order, the Cabal and a lot of others. Marvel characters are also very well known, in particular thanks to the incredible success that the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, has experienced, such as the Avengers or Iron Man films, but also the Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man, and of course the X-Men films. Star Wars. We are not going to dwell too much on the subject, because most of you have already seen or heard of Star Wars, a license that has never ceased to be talked about since its creation in 1977. Either in films, shows or comics, sales of Star Wars never stopped skyrocketing until they were bought by Disney. Published by the Dark Horse Publishing House under license from Lucas Books, the comics of this rich universe relate different events from different eras, such as Star Wars The Saga and Star Wars The Clone Wars. It's over 80 years of comic book history, and it would be pretty hard to read it all or remember it all, of course, but I will summarize for you what for me and for a large community of readers are the best comic books from the different publishing houses. If you're particularly interested in a character, you might find it in an event with a large part of the other characters, as you can try the movies to learn more about the universe and its diversity. But I can only advise you to start that by character that you like, because otherwise it would be very difficult to hang on for the rest you may not like, or work for its writers or its designs. But luckily you have a list of other stories just waiting for you, so give the comics a chance. For Marvel, it's over 80 years of history and continuity, so absolutely everything is canon. So I suggest you to try out Ultimate Comics, such as Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men or Avengers. You should not miss the excellent Civil War with its superb scenario and art. If you want to read Spider-Man, you have the Amazing Spider-Man, which is really cool. If you prefer the Avengers, then try the New Avengers. It will let you see a revisited team with great stories. For Captain America, you have Captain America Living Legend, which is very good. Or you can even try the different what-ifs. For the X-Men, you have stories like Wolverine Weapon X and Wolverine Origins. If you like Deadpool, you will love Deadpool from 2013. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe and Deadpool Spider-Man. If rather you want to read from DC, which is a universe with somewhat complicated but rich timeline, I can only advise you to start with the Flashpoint of 2011 and the New 52. You will find, for example, Justice League 2011, Batman 2011, which is excellent, Action Comics and Detective Comics, as well as The Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern Corps and Justice League America. If you want to read more about the characters, try Batman Year One, The Killing Joke, which is definitely not to be missed if you are a fan of the Joker, which is an apocalyptic universe, Doomsday Clock or Injustice. You can also find the Teen Titans of 2016 and the Justice League of 2018. Personally, I never get tired of it. And if you want, I will explain all of this in more details in another video on how to start comic books. So much of my reading tips, but it doesn't stop there. You can also find The Boys or Invincible. And if you want to read more or you aren't interested in superhero stories, you can always try different comics, like Star Wars 2015, The Walking Dead, which is just excellent. It's much less boring and more interesting than the AMC series. You can also find Scott Pilgrim, who is funny and likable at the same time, as we can see comics like Sega, Deadly Class or Sonic. In conclusion, I can tell you that if you give the comic book world a chance, you won't be disappointed. You will find the genre that suits you in no time, and you would be just addicted as I am. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to press the little blue sprite, subscribe and leave me your opinion, what you think of the comics, and if you're up to give it a try. Adventure on the comment space. On those I tell you in the next video, and let the comic passion guide you.